Welcome to AI Sales Accelerator, where we dive into transforming your B2B sales game with AI-powered strategies and cinematic insights that really pack a
Yep,
punch.
absolutely. I mean, the idea of pulling lessons from films like Boiler Room and The Founder really gets the brain ticking.
Exactly. It's like going from the boardroom to the big screen. We've dug into 100 iconic movie scenes to extract practical lessons on sales and negotiation.
Uh-huh. 100 scenes? That's quite a deep dive. How does that play out in terms of analysis?
Well, they approach it by breaking down each scene, not just the blockbuster successes, but also the more ethically questionable moves. It covers the spectrum from high-pressure tactics in Boiler Room to the long-view strategies in The Founder.
Mm-hmm. That's fascinating because, on one side you have the intense, aggressive push, and on the other, the vision-driven, relationship-based negotiation.
Right? It's like they don't just focus on one style. They analyze everything from the always be closing energy in Glengarry Glen Ross to the subtle approaches in something like Jerry
Yeah.
Maguire.
Speaking of Glengarry Glen Ross, that Alec Baldwin speech with its imposing urgency really highlights the extreme end of sales tactics, doesn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's that caricatured urgency that almost forces you to rethink the use of pressure in negotiations. But then, films like The Founder flip the script by emphasizing, strategic vision and long-term real
Hmm.
estate control.
And that contrast is almost like a cinematic masterclass in how not to rely on one approach over another. What role does the top 100 scenes table play in all this?
It's a real gem. This table breaks down scene by scene, highlighting negotiation tactics, persuasion techniques, and strategic pivots. For instance, take that famous "sell me this pen" bit from Wolf of Wall Street. It's
Yeah,
not about the pen itself, it's about uncovering need first.
right. And that's pure sales 101. It's about asking the right questions to create demand rather than just pitching a product.
Exactly. And then you also have Jerry Maguire's "show me the money" moment, which goes beyond a catchy slogan to reveal a lot about relationship building and, leveraging negotiation dynamics.
Yep. I love how the analysis pulls from both aggressive tactics and the more thoughtful strategic moves. But isn't there a risk of oversimplifying real-life sales by leaning too heavily on these dramatized scenes?
That's a totally fair point. Movies, by their nature, heighten reality. It's essential to remember that these scenes offer principles rather than literal blueprints. The idea is to understand the why behind the tactic.
Mm-hmm. So it's more about distilling a toolbox of techniques rather than copying dramatic moves verbatim?
Exactly, exactly. Take 12 Angry Men, for example. That one scene with the countervote shows the power of questioning assumptions in a negotiation. Simple
Right.
yet so profound.
And then there's Thank You for Smoking, where Nick Naylor handles objections with almost a masterclass on persuasive argumentation.
Yeah, that film really dives into overcoming resistance. It's not just about talking fast, it's about managing objections while keeping things ethical.
Uh-huh. It's interesting. On one hand, you see hyper-aggressive techniques like in Boiler Room, and on the other, more empathy-driven approaches like in Tommy Boy. It shows there's no single path to success.
Exactly, it's a spectrum. The analysis even touches on films like The Godfather, where negotiation is more about power, leverage, and getting an offer they can't refuse. It really diversifies the conversation.
Yep. Speaking of diverse strategies, did you catch that bit about the founder and how it shifted focus from selling a product to controlling an entire landscape, literally the real estate?
Yes, that was a brilliant observation. It's almost like a strategic pivot, the understanding that the real value lies in owning the ground beneath you rather than just the product itself.
It's definitely a reminder that in sales, as in business, sometimes the long game is where you really win.
Right, and that's one of the powerful takeaways here: adaptability. The idea that you can shift tactics based on your target, the market, and even ethical considerations.
Yeah. I'm really pondering, though, while these dramatic scenes are inspiring, do you think there's a tension between using aggressive tactics and maintaining genuine relationships?
I get what you're saying, and it's definitely a delicate balance. Aggressive tactics can yield immediate results, but in the long run, authentic connection often trumps high-pressure sales. It's about mixing drive with integrity.
Uh-huh. Right, it's like having a high-performance engine that you need to sometimes drive smoothly instead of always floor it.
Exactly. And that's where the analysis stresses understanding the underlying principles. You take the inspiration from these scenes and then adapt them thoughtfully to your own style and, context.
And that's, in essence, the benefit of combining those cinematic insights with AI-driven strategy. AI can help you tailor and refine these techniques to suit your precise needs.
Absolutely. The AI aspect acts like a filter. It helps you pinpoint what works best for your situation from that 100-scene toolbox. It's about personalized learning and skill development.
Yeah, but here's where I want to respectfully challenge something. While AI's analytics are impressive, isn't there a risk of oversimplifying the messy human nuances of sales? After all, a movie scene is a dramatization, and real-life dynamics are often far less predictable.
That's a really valid critique. I mean, AI can mine a ton of data and spot patterns, but it can't fully grasp the human subtleties like body language or unspoken trust factors. So yes, it's crucial to use AI as a tool, not as the entire solution.
Right, exactly. Blending tech with the authentic human touch remains essential.
And that's where these films come in handy as a kind of narrative shortcut. They encapsulate those human energies and ethical dilemmas, which we can then adapt into real-world strategy.
It seems like every scene teaches us something different. Resilience from The Pursuit of Happiness, negotiation power from The Godfather, and even creative persuasion from Moneyball-like scenarios.
Totally. And each lesson reinforces the idea that preparation, strategy, and importantly, integrity are key in sales. It's not just about closing a deal. It's about building long-term success.
So the takeaway is, while the cinematic scenes are over the top sometimes, they really have substance beneath the drama. They encourage us to analyze the why behind a tactic and then ethically adapt that in our own sales process.
Exactly. Analyze, adapt, and always keep it real with your communication and relationship building. The top 100 scenes table, for instance, isn't just a list. It's a detailed guide to help you focus on and develop specific skills, whether it's handling objections in a thank you for smoking style or leveraging urgency like in Boiler Room.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's also a conversation starter, offering discussion ideas for role plays and targeted learning, which is super handy for sales teams.
Definitely. It encourages sales pros to pick a particular scene, study it, and then practice that tactic in a controlled, ethical way. That way, you're not blindly copying the drama. You're like internalizing the underlying principle.
In the end, it's a reminder that while the movies might make sales look like a high-octane sport, real-world success is built on thoughtful strategy and genuine connection.
Yes, exactly. And by combining those cinematic lessons with AI-powered analysis, you're not just learning. It's like you're supercharging your approach to close bigger, more sustainable deals.
So if this sparks some new ideas in your sales playbook, dive into that table, explore the scenes, and adapt the strategies in a way that's authentic to your style.
Absolutely. It's all about critical analysis and thoughtful adaptation. Remember, it isn't about mimicking dramatic scenes exactly. It's about understanding the principles behind them and evolving your own strategy.
Exactly. Thanks for this deep dive into the cinematic world of sales. For anyone tuning in, if these insights help refine your sales game, be sure to like and share your biggest takeaways.
And as always, keep honing those skills. The blend of AI analytics and authentic human interaction is what really transforms your ability to not just close deals, but build lasting relationships.
Yep. Here's to bridging the gap between art and strategy and letting smart tech enhance great salespeople rather than replace them. Thanks for joining the conversation today.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep pushing the envelope, analyze thoughtfully, and stay true to that art of the deal.